Hello guys, and welcome back to Grace.Filled. I am so excited to be back with you guys for another video, and in this video I decided that I wanted to talk to you about 5 ways that you can become more soft and feminine. Those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you check out the playlist. But I am a wife. This is about to be my 14th year of marriage, and I am a mommy of 5, and I have pretty much been homeschooling this entire time. And I think that as a mom and as a wife, it's important that we are soft and that we are feminine for our spouses and for our children. 2 reasons for our children. 1, because we want our daughters to be feminine and soft, and 2, because we want our sons to know what a feminine and soft woman looks like, so prayerfully he will look for that type of woman. So the first way that you can be a little more soft and feminine is your relationship with your creator, with the Most High God, Yah. I think that it all stems from there. It's important that we take the time to connect with our creator so that it's easier for us to connect with ourselves as far as our mental health. How do we handle stress? How do we handle conflict? Like, what voice are we hearing to ourselves? Are you saying to yourself, you're fat, you're dumb, you're ugly, you're never gonna get anybody, you're this, you're that? Or are you saying to yourself, I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made. I am working on myself. I am a work in progress. I love the way I smell today. I love the way I look today. Are you practicing good mental health for yourself? Are you setting boundaries? Are you reducing your stress loads? Are you cutting off toxic people, even if they are your family and even if people will have things to say? I just want to add to this last part of number 1 before I move on to number 2. I think number 1 is important because how can you really be soft and feminine if your heart is hard, if your heart is closed, if you don't have that connection with yourself and with your creator? What do our emotions look like internally? Thoughts matter and what you say matter. It's because life and death is in the power of your tongue, and soft words turn away wrath, and not just for others but for yourself as well. That brings us to number 2, and that is to watch your tongue. It matters what you say to others and to yourself. I think one of the hardest things for a mama to do is to speak softly and not yell, because honestly, when you have a lot of kids, I have 5, and when you have boys, I have 4, they are so loud and they are so rambunctious sometimes. And honestly, if you don't yell, you can barely hear yourself speak and breathe. And so sometimes you do have to get a little bit louder than you like, but let that be the exception and not your norm. I grew up just hearing people yell and just yell for no reason, and it just became like, oh, that's just a person. But you know what? There's no excuse for that. It's not just a person. No one should just be yelling all the time. And if you're that person that's yelling all the time, pause before you want to be more feminine or anything else. Take time to deal with, why am I yelling? Why am I talking this way? Why do I feel I need to yell at people? Why do I feel like I need to talk to people that way, to hurt people with my words? Because yes, it is hurtful. Do some self-reflection and really get to the root of why you do what you do. I can promise you this. Your spouse doesn't want you yelling at him, and your children don't want you yelling at them. And it actually hurts when people yell at you. Have you ever seen that when certain people get yelled at, they actually cry? Because they are in touch with their feelings and their emotions, and being yelled at hurts, and not just children, as adults too. It hurts when people yell at you, right? Let me know in the comments if it hurts when people yell at you. Okay, Number 3 is to be aware of your body. Be aware of your body language. Be aware of your facial expressions. Make sure you smile and hug people. You know, honestly, I grew up without a lot of smiles and without a lot of hugs. And on some of my darkest days, it would be the hug and a smile from a stranger that would be just so uplifting and so encouraging. And I decided I always want to be able to give a smile, especially when I'm meeting a stranger or I'm passing through, because you never know what other people are going through. And your smile just might make somebody's day. And honestly, it might just keep someone from jumping off of a bridge. Next, I want to talk about, do you run when you're going to do what you're doing? Like you're always running. Slow down and take time to walk gracefully. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Be anxious for nothing. Prepare. Give yourself enough time so that you are where you need to be in advance and you're not running and rushing because you don't look very soft and feminine when you're all rushing and frazzled and I'm late and sweaty and all that. So just breathe and just give yourself the time. Kind of going along with this, with the feet portion, is to pay attention to how you walk. Don't just go stumping through the house, stomp. And make sure you're not walking like a man. It is a blessing and an honor and a privilege to be a woman. And so find you a little step, find you a little jazz, a little something that you can put into your steps, because if you were both wearing a pair of jeans and nothing on your feet or just a pair of socks, could someone differentiate your walk from a man's walk? There really are some women who just munch around and like, and I understand that our body shapes are different, but I'm telling you, like, look at this and look at this. I'm a little heavier chested. I promise I'm not sticking my chest out, but it's just the way I'm made. But it makes a difference when you're all slouched over. Hey, how you doing? Hi, how are you doing? It just makes a difference, and one exudes confidence and the other does not. Okay, so we talked about hugs. Now let's talk about our hands. So instead of like with your hands on your hip, like, oh really, is that what you said? Because you got that little roll going on. Instead of doing that, or like, let me tell you something, like you didn't do what you were supposed to do and I'm really upset about that. Instead of all like all up in your face, no. Maybe practice putting your hands together, maybe in front of you, maybe behind you, maybe just simply beside you, but pay attention to your hands and that you're not talking like this, because people feel offended and they feel like you are going crazy and about to attack them. And I've dealt with some people like, that's just the way I am. I get emotional. Control yourself. Go back to, why am I throwing my hands around? This is a negative body language. This signals threat. It's threatening when you're doing that to people. So evaluate, why do you do what you do? Is it something that you've seen? Is it something you've been taught? And then how can you unlearn these negative traits that you have picked up from others that were in authority or around you over the span of your life? It's not easy to let go of old habits, but old habits will take you and can take you to new places in your relationships, on your jobs, and just with other people. So it's really important to get to the root of why you do what you do. I'm almost done with the body, but there's 2 more things I want to mention when we talk about the body. Be aware to get rest. Like sometimes just grab a cup of tea, grab a blanket, read a book. Like make sure that you're getting 8 hours of sleep. If you need more, if you need less, whatever your body needs, try to listen to your body. And when your body says at night, I'm tired, don't say, oh, I'm just gonna do more laundry, I'm just gonna do another video, I'm just gonna do more of this or more of that, but really try to say, you know what? Or pump yourself with 5-6 cups of coffee. Your body is telling you, I'm tired. And we need to honor and listen to our bodies by saying, you know what? you have done amazing things today, I'm gonna honor you with rest. Or you have done amazing things today, I'm gonna honor you with rest so tomorrow you can do amazing things. And that's okay too, because every day is not a perfect day, and we don't get to cross off all the things and check all the things every single day, and that's okay. But it is important that you're resting and that you're getting enough sleep and that you're staying hydrated. Do you know when your body is telling you that you're thirsty? So number 4 is more the outer body. Number 3 was more the inner body. So number 4 is really just observing yourself. And it's like, what colors make me come alive? What colors complement my skin tone? What things clash against my skin tone? Does silver look better on me? Does gold look better on me? Do I look better with pink lipstick, with red lipstick? Are there certain colors that do not look well on me? Like, I don't look well in these fuchsias and bright neon colors. Neons are not my thing. I look really nice in earthies, in blues, and pinks, and soft purples. I look really nice in soft colors. And this one is not my typical, but it is winter and it's still in a range that somewhat complements me, my skin, my shape. You know, that's another thing. I am in the season of not being the size I want to be, but I need to honor the size that I am currently. And so that means not stuffing my body into clothes that fit last season or the season before, that don't flatter me well and that do not serve me at all. So it might mean that I need to go up a size. And this was a dress that I picked up from the thrift store. I think it was $2, but it's long, it has an empire waist, and it looks really good on me, and it's modest. So I can cook, clean, bend over in this, and I'm not exposed. And that brings me to my next tip. Is to dress modest. You don't have to show it all. Leave something to the imagination. I saw a picture once and it was 2 women side by side, and one was completely naked and it was just hot and red. You could see everything that there was to see. There was nothing left to the imagination. And there was another lady who was basically covered from head to toe. But when I tell you, the dress was just so elegant, and it was just such a soft and elegant feminine look. And I promise you, that lady that was fully covered and concealed drew more eyes any day than that woman who showed it off. When you're showing it off, what message are you really sending? And when you're being a little more modest, what messages are you really sending? Now, I've had some recent discussions with people, and they say people can wear what they want to wear. And you know what? You wear what you want to wear, but what you want to wear today may not be the thing that you want your children and your grandchildren and great-grandchildren seeing 20, 30, 40 years from now. And if you don't want them seeing that, those pictures and those videos and you shaking and rumping and all of that, maybe you should think about that now and not be doing it. If it's not something you can be proud of later, if it's not something you can be proud of in front of your pastor, in front of your parents, in front of respectable people, maybe you shouldn't be doing it or wearing it. That's just my 2 cents. And if this is hard for you, maybe just try toning down your look. If you're typically always wearing reds, or animal prints, maybe wear solid, maybe try pinks. If you were always wearing low cut, maybe go for a scoop neck or like a cow neck. Maybe even go for something that might be slightly off the shoulder. So I mean, there are ways that you still can have your own little thing. Maybe even it's with the hairstyle that you wear or the makeup or the jewelry or the nails. I think that there is a way that you can be beautiful in a way that is flattering and fitting for you while still being honoring to your, I'm presuming that you are married, but to your spouses and to your children and to your faith. And this might be a really good time for you to try a capsule wardrobe where you just pick a few items that you absolutely love and you rock them. And maybe you can try different accessories like belts and things like that. But it's just you finding your signature look, your unique style. What is it that people can think about you and think about? Well, typically, I'm gonna have on some pearl earrings and a necklace. Typically, you won't see me without a lipstick. Normally, I have some type of scarf or headband or covering or some sort of wrap or braids or something in there in some way so that a part of me is covered in some capacity. To me, normally you're gonna see me in a long maxi dress, a long maxi skirt, and you're gonna see me in some pretty slides. That's kind of my signature look. There are some days where you may see me in heels, or you may see me in something a little more form-fitted, but typically maxi dress, lipstick, jewelry, and something on my head, and we're good to go. My final fifth tip on how to be a little more feminine and how to be a little more soft is your health routine. Now, what I mean by health routine is your vitamins, how you take care of your skin. Are you moisturizing your skin? Are you exfoliating or maybe dry brushing your skin? Are you using scrubs on your face so that you can get rid of the dead skin that's there? Are you making sure that your feet are soft with a little pumice? It can be as cheap as the Dollar Tree. It can be as expensive as whatever you want. But are you taking the time to scrub your feet and put lotion on them just so they feel soft? You could even just add a little bit of polish to your toes. Even if you don't want to get your nails and toes done, you can just take the time to really make sure that they are kind of the same size, that you don't have a bunch of jags and snags. And I know sometimes that's a little bit harder depending on what you do, especially being a homemaker, a home wife. Our hands are definitely in the water all day. When it's garden time, my hands are in the dirt in the garden. But it really is important that we take care of the body that we have, of the skin that we have. I don't think that your spouse wants to get in bed with you and you have like brown nails and rough toes that's cutting him, and you may not shave everywhere, but maybe there's a few parts that you just trim a little bit, or you just kind of keep in order and in shape. And so these things are really important. Final thing to your health routine is, are you moving your body? You only get one body, and your body is the temple. So are you working out? Are you at least stretching? Are you going for walks? Are you doing things that's going to keep your body in shape and healthy? Because studies show that as a woman's belly gets bigger, so does her chances for all different types of conditions and things that she does not want. Diabetes, blood, all sorts of things like that. I'm not going to get into that. But so it's important to keep yourself in shape. But also it's really important to take care of your body and to keep your body in shape, because that's a part of being soft and feminine. It's self-care. How can you take care of someone else if you're not even taking care of yourself? Especially if you are a person of faith and you know that your body is the temple, but you keep putting all this filth into it, and now you have to take 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 medications because of the things that you're putting into your body. You need to get some control and say enough is enough, and get some discipline to say, I've had 1 plate, I don't have to have 2. I had 1 slice, maybe I had 2, I don't have to have the whole thing. And these are really important things to being soft and feminine. And I know there are a lot of people and a lot of women that talk about leveling up and fantasizing and romanticizing and all these things. And I will not lie, a while back I did have a video that I was gonna post, and the Holy Spirit told me no. And I already did the work of making the video. And I was like, oh my goodness. But you know what? We don't need to romanticize our lives All we have to do is just enjoy them. We have been given a gift of the present, and all we have to do is just enjoy it and to walk in it. And so we don't have to romanticize what our lives look like and all this music and dramas and all this, because it might not be music and dramas, but it might be tears and poopy diapers and washing dishes another time. It might be vacuuming the floor again. It might be making a meal again. It might be another load of laundry for the 360th day. That you daily put in this laundry in the washer to the dryer to fold and then put it away. And so we don't need to romanticize our lives, and we don't need to do those extra things. All we need to do is be mindful of the one we have, give our best, be our best, and I promise if you follow the tips in this video, you will have a life worth living. It's not about this outside, it's not about this outward, and they're always talking about, oh, how flawless you can be, but it's not about being flawless, because the truth is we are flawed, and that's why we needed a savior to die for us, because of our flaws, because of our sins. So we're not here to pretend and to throw on some air, but we're here to be the best women that we can be, making an impact for the kingdom, setting an example for the young men and women that are to come, and loving our husbands well. So ladies, I hope that this video on 5 tips on how to be soft and feminine has touched you. Hopefully it's not like the other videos. I didn't want it superficial, because at the end of the day, only what we do for the Lord, for Christ, for Yah will last anyway. So it doesn't matter about how all these other things are if our heart and the internal parts are not right. So it is the inward that makes us soft and feminine, the way we smile at people and hug people and love people, and the way that we give them soft words and not yelling at them and screaming at them, that we're covering them, that we're praying for them, that we're loving them. I think that means more than any flawless body could any day. Well, I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, blessings.